Oh my gosh, this is Naval Coach and my daughter Maya. Welcome
Hi.
back, Maya. It's been a while since we've done the show. I'm so excited to be here. We only have 15 minutes, so we have to get on with it. Just to catch up the audience, Maya has turned 21, moved to Hawaii to start her college years in Hawaii. It's a big change for Maya in so many ways. And tell us this latest change, Maya.
Well, I gotta make this quick. I like to talk a lot. So I've had a boyfriend who I've talked about many times on this show for about 4 years now. He's always been my rock, my support. He's been like the best boyfriend ever. Um, but and we reconnected for like a year. We kind of split up for a little bit last year and then we've reconnected. So we've basically been together again. But after moving, I'm like, well, I'm in college now. I don't want to do a long distance. I want to have my freedom. I'm still in my freshly young 20s and I want to be exploring and stuff. So I've just, this is kind of the update on where I'm at with the relationship and how I'm trying to, I guess, break free in a way. So, basically he was here, he was helping me move and transition, and we were just having the conversation of what's going to happen, once he leaves and as the months go by. And we it took a while for us to be on the same page. Like, he thought that we were going to still basically be together, but I would have freedom, but at the same time not really, because he wanted me to prioritize him. And I was like, that doesn't really work. Like, it doesn't make sense because I need to have my life here. I need to have friends and do what I want without feeling bad or guilty. And so then we kind of got on the same page where he's like, oh, okay, so we're basically going through our little split again. Like, we're going to have to go through that. And
Oh gosh.
yes. And the first time definitely was not easy. It was really hard for both of us. And then especially after reconnecting after that, I mean, I learned how painful it was for him, and then,
Yeah.
he learned that it was painful for me. And I think what was mostly painful for him was just that he thought that I just completely moved on and that I didn't care. But I was like, no, like, I missed you the whole time and I thought about you the whole time. And, really what I realized was that all these guys are not you, and that, you treat me really well. And I'm just learning around there. And anyway, so I think he feels a lot better about this time because he knows that I'm not just forgetting about him, and that, you know, like, we'll always have each other's back and we're never really leaving each other. But just for this to work, we kind of have to be independent and have our time apart. So, so yeah, he left, and I didn't want to just like cut it off like cold turkey and just stop talking, because that's, really depressing. So we've been talking, every day, and it's basically just been like we're still together, because I just wasn't really rushing into, this whole journey again. It's not like I was gonna jump onto like a dating app and just, I was like, I'm just gonna let whatever happens happens, and I didn't want to rush into it because I felt like if it was too soon, then he would just feel replaced, and like I was, you know, overly excited to just be with other people other than him. And I realized that I was really just overly protecting him, and I was actively like avoiding opportunities where something might happen. Like, if friends would invite me out, I would tell them no. Like, oh, I'm tired or I have homework. But really, I was just relieved that I wouldn't have to go. And like, in case something happened, I was
Mm.
so scared that I would do something and then feel super guilty about it, or have to hide it from him. And I didn't want him to feel, bad that I was just moving on really fast. So I've been actively avoiding everything about that. And
Oh,
then
slow it down for a second. There's so much in
I
here
only have
that's
9 minutes left.
well, I asked for extra time, so I think I have another extra 10
Okay.
minutes that we can go.
Okay.
But I mean, oh my God, I could just feel you. It's like it's like it's such a weird place, right? You don't want to have to replace him. It's not about replacing him
Mm-hmm.
because he's not good enough or anything, but it's freaking like you're 21 years old and there's so much to life. And it's like how do you get to have this friendship and this love and this support with you and not be burdened by the
Right.
heaviness of the relationship, the
Yeah.
requirements, right? And it's so mind-blowing um, to even explore this area with someone and then to have to tease out, well, no, it doesn't mean this, like give us one of those examples that you just gave me before we jump on the call, like like he said what and then you have to go, well, exactly that.
Well, because of course we don't want to have to go through that break again where we just completely lose each other. We can't talk to each other, feel like strangers because we're not, like, and it's just awful. So then we're like, well, we could still talk and we can still be connected and stuff. And then he was asking like, you know, if we have a plan to like call one night or something and you get invited out or something happens, like he's like, I would expect you to hold on to that arrangement and still choose me over whatever else comes up. And I'm like, well, I can't really do that because, like, even if it's just like some girlfriends asking me out, like, I need to make
That
friends and I need
freedom,
to,
that
yeah, I
freedom to
need
move
to,
around, right? Yeah.
and I,
It's like
I need to, like,
how do we have our freedom and not have to compete with them feeling like they're important or not with us,
right,
right? So it's so mind-blowing. I mean, I'm 56 years old and I'm still having to struggle with that, honey. It's like I'm just exercising my freedom. You have nothing, like it's not that they don't matter, they matter hugely, but why does it have to interfere with your freedom in that moment? Why can't you just be free to do what you do, and then and then when you reconnect? But no,
right,
when there's a relationship, it's heavy and it's burdensome and it's I'm having a headache just thinking about how complicated this is, right?
it's really
um,
complicated. Yeah,
oh my god, it's so complicated, and it's really nothing personal, and yet it's everything personal.
yeah.
Yeah. So hi, honey. Is that Lon who's watching us? I can't tell because you come across as Facebook user, but thanks for watching and saying hi to us. Tell us your name so we know who we're saying hi to. But anyway, so then how did you have the courage to keep saying, well, no, because I feel like every no, not that, like something gets worse and worse,
Uh-huh,
and then when he said,
uh-huh.
oh, so we're going through another one of those breakup things, oh, it just feels so shitty inside. Like, how did you sit
Yeah.
in that place?
Well, I honestly didn't even know exactly what I want. Well, I knew what I wanted. Like, I wanted my freedom again. But of course, when he's like, it'll be okay. Like, we'll work it out. Like, we can still be not together, but we can work through it together. And I'm like, oh, well, that sounds good. Yeah. What does that mean to you? And then he was explaining it. And I'm like, that would be nice, but that's just, I can't see that happening. Like, that's just not how it works. Like he was saying, I can come visit you every other month. And I'm like, would you feel comfortable cuddling with me and sleeping in my bed if you knew that I was hooking up with other people? Like, I don't think so. And I was like, that's a little too close, for whatever we're gonna go through. And so, yeah, it was just like the more he said things, I'm like, oh no, I don't think that's gonna work. No. And then eventually he was like, oh, so like we can't really be together. We need to go on a break. And I was like, ah, shit, I guess you're right. Like, I didn't even really, I was trying to find a way around it, but I'm like, it's just too complicated. It's just, even though it sucks, the easiest way for us is just to, go on that break or separate for a while and whatever. So, yeah. And
But
then and then
let me pitch for this for a second, because I don't think it's spoken enough, and I think we need to speak it into the universe here. All of that happens because he can't. Right when you say, "Would you feel comfortable sleeping in the same bed that I have slept with other men?" The answer should be yes, because it's just love. It's
mhm,
okay, right? I we know you. You only bring amazing people into your bed. You're not doing anything shameful or disgusting in your bed. You're
mhm,
having great sex in your bed. It is a great thing to have. He should be happy. But because of our limited thinking and our inability to love and share well, and we don't have full control of our jealousy, so then we say no, and we're not comfortable. Well, who's to say that you're not comfortable?
mhm.
Why not? Right?
Yeah.
So we keep getting stuck as humans, we keep getting stuck behind this limited loving thing, and it's such a headache, and it's killing everybody's spirits, but we keep thinking that that's the right thing to do.
Yeah. And it's not only on his side too. It's like I wouldn't be able to get over the fact that I would just feel guilty about it and I would feel responsible for his feelings. Even if he said, "Yeah, that's okay." I'd still be like, "How like I know there's jealousy. I know there's insecurities there." And I would just feel responsible for making him feel like that. And like I don't want to have to go through being in that position either. I'm like, I don't want to I don't want to do that, you know? It's
Yeah.
hard for both of us.
Yeah. So you
So,
negotiated for a clean break.
yeah, so we decided, like when he leaves, of course I'm not just going to rush into anything. So we'll still talk and we'll still, I'm still adjusting to everything and I still would really like having him there to call up anytime for support or whatever. So
Yeah.
we've been talking regularly and basically how we've always talked but pretty much in the past week, I'd say, I've had many messages from the universe that were like, "Okay, it's time. Like you need to like let go now." And it's terrifying
Oh,
for me because I'm like, "Wait, I'm not ready for that. Like I don't want to give up like my one support, like because
yeah.
I haven't made really much friends here. I don't have a community here yet. So I'm like, I still need that safety net, like I still need him to like take care of me and look over me and stuff. And they're like, no, like you need to start moving on. Like you need to start going out there. And
How
I'm like,
how do you know
what?
the universe is saying that to you?
Um, I drew my fairy cards. Can I flip
Oh
this?
no.
I don't know if I can flip this, but that's what came up.
Oh, what is it?
Can you
What
see
does it
it?
say? Yeah, I
It
can see it,
says
but
it says sexuality. And I pulled that and I was like, oh
shit.
no. I know, I was like, I wasn't excited about it. I was like, oh shit, they just called me out. And so basically, what the card was saying was that it was literally saying that you've been neglecting your that side
Oh
of you and
no.
that you've just been tucking it away, pushing it away, and it's like
Throw
you
the
need
deck of cards away.
I
Burn it.
know, but they were like, it's time. Like, you need to nurture it. You need to bring it back out. Like, you need to,
Oh,
like, focus on her a little bit. And I was like, oh, no, that's not good. I was like, I didn't want to hear that.
oh
And
baby.
then, and then I've also been seeing the numbers like 555 a lot,
Yeah.
like in
And what
times
does
and
that
stuff.
what does that stand for?
It was like, frick, it was like the same kind of thing. It was like, it's time to embark on the new journey. It's time to leave the past behind. It's time to like start, taking those leaps and facing your fear. I was like, "Oh god." stop, like leave me alone, like please
Wait, it
don't.
said, okay, I got it. So angel number 555. So for those of you who are watching this and don't know what we're talking about, is that if you see a set of numbers, usually 3 or 4 numbers, over and over and over again, everywhere you turn, from your clock to your microwave to the street sign or
Yeah.
some street address, it's the angels trying to talk to you. So in
Yeah.
this case, Maya has been seeing 555. So 555 says that significant and necessary changes are happening in your life that have been divinely inspired and guided. These changes will bring about long awaited circumstances and results and will fully align you with your true divine life purpose and soul mission. So it's it's not just about hanging on to dear life or what you're familiar with, what you know, so that you can feel
Hmm.
safe, but that it's encouraging to to let go and let the change happening. And
Yeah.
that just makes my stomach sick because I know both of you and I love both of you and I love how he loves you and it's so wonderful. And I also get that you're my daughter and that you need to explore and you need to, and you know, I get it, I get it, I get it. And I get how scary it is for you. And you're over there all by yourself. Wow.
Yeah. And especially like eh, the way that I want to go about this is a lot different than the first time because the first
Yeah.
time I was just excited to like I was like I don't care how it comes about. I just want to like be with people. I just want to, get out there. So I like literally broke up with him and then just like jumped on Tinder and was like just went
Went to
crazy.
town. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah,
You
I've
didn't go
already
crazy, but
experienced
you,
that.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I've already done that and it's not as fulfilling as you would ever think. It's just like, why am I wasting my time on here? This is really, whatever. But there was a purpose for it at the time.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I, I'm not gonna be actively out there like searching for just a random whatever. Like, I kind of want to experience just having connections and making friends and just seeing what happens from that and like actually connecting with the person and you know finding good people who I know would take care of me, just rather than like these stupid 20-year-old boys that were just like idiots. I'm like, okay. So it's just hard because it's like, why are you forcing me or why are you encouraging me to just kind of cut ties and move on when I don't even have anything really like in front of me yet. Even though it's probably like, oh, it's coming. Like, don't worry. Like, once you get rid of, like, it's gonna come like right away, probably. But it's just scary because I'm like, I have nothing to like look forward to. I have nothing to like, oh, it's okay because I already have this in line. I already have, I don't even
Well,
have like
if
that
I
many
if
friends.
I may if I maybe coach mom for a second.
Yes.
Um, well, I think it's important for all of us to have an empty space and time before we bring in a new partner. Um,
Yeah.
the way you were describing it, it's the old model of letting go of this because you have a new one. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a replacing model,
Right.
and so that makes everybody feels bad. But what you're looking for is you're looking for yourself in these experiences.
Yeah.
So so let go so that you can have an empty space, so that you can
Mm-hmm.
breathe and get to know yourself in this empty space. And
Mm-hmm.
then when you're ready, you can call in the next person to explore
Yeah.
with, you know. So that way you're not you're not doing it from insecurity where you're letting go of this so that you can grab onto that,
Right.
or you have something new to grab onto, therefore you can let go of this thing.
Right.
that's
Yeah.
that's the replacement model, and that's not what you're doing. So
Yeah.
anyway,
Yeah.
well, whatever you're
So,
doing, you're super bold and brave. Yes, go ahead.
yeah. Well, I mean, the a big chunk of this story is that I've been feeling all of this anxiety and stuff coming for like a week now. I'm like, oh God. And then finally, we were we called each other and we were talking, and like the conversation just came up, and of course I was terrified. I'm like, I don't really know how to tell you this, but like I'm being told that it's time. And he's like, okay, like he's always been such a good listener and just so supportive and just like, sure, okay, yeah, okay. And I'm like, well, so what do you feel? How do you feel about this? And he's like, well, honestly, like I've been getting the same kind of gut feeling that this conversation was coming up soon. Like he's like, I feel like we were kind of connected. Like you were feeling it, and it was sending me messages like, okay, like a warning, like it's coming. So he's like, no, like I'm feeling a lot more prepared this time, a lot more accepting of it, and so I was like, oh, well, that makes me feel a lot better that you kind of saw it
I still
coming,
don't
and
feel better yet. I'm still like, "Ah."
I know. So yeah, but that was a big step for me,
Yeah,
just sharing what I was feeling and what was going on with me, and him just
yeah,
being there to listen and understand. And so yeah, I'm just taking my time. I mean, again, we're not just gonna stop talking cold turkey,
yeah.
but now we know that that's kind of in the midst, and it's gonna kind of start shifting. So one step at a time. I'm like, okay, that was a good enough step. Like, are you guys happy? I at least talked to him about it. I at least like I am I'm acknowledging that it is
Yeah,
there, that it's gonna happen. At least I'm not doubting it. I'm not in like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, this isn't happening. So
I
little
I
steps at a
just want
time.
you to
That's all
know
it
that
takes.
I'm feeling lightheaded. I'm chill. I'm just like sweating. I'm just like, I'm
Yeah.
going through withdrawals for you. Anyway,
Yeah.
I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you and your sweetheart on how you guys can have these conversations and be there to support each other. And I get how difficult this is for him and for you and for your mommy to like watch this.
Yeah.
um, but keep going, honey bunny. You're doing great, and keep listening and keep pulling that fairy cards and see what the universe has to
Yeah.
say to you
I
for
mean,
this
I
one.
was I was kind of getting scared because I'm like, if I don't address this soon, they're gonna like hit me with something hard to like really wake me up. And I'm like, I gotta like face this like now or never, because they're gonna do something really bad. So so yeah, just have to
No, they're
listen to
just
the
trying to
signs.
get your attention so that
Yeah.
you can keep living your life in a big way rather than settling and choosing something less than
Yeah.
because you know you're going to be pushed into it anyway, right? Anyway,
Yep.
well, thanks for jumping in here last minute and just have this conversation with me and sharing with all of us. Thank you to everyone who's watching. I'm Mavu. I'm a Mavu coach, and this is my lovely daughter Maya. And this is just our love work conversation with mommy and daughter. I wanted to share with the world on how you could have different conversations with your daughter. You should be able to be there with them, but not get in their space and be all over it. They don't need us to do that for them. They just need us to listen and feel the pain and cheer them on. So thank you for sharing your sacred journey with me, your mom, and with everyone
Yeah.
else. Yeah,
Yep. Thanks,
keep going.
everyone.
So proud of you. Talk to you soon. Bye,
Okay.
everyone.
Bye.